Hello and welcome to Mickey Art. My name's Michelle Edhouse and today I am doing a pour that meets one of the criteria of the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group September challenge. Now, if you're not part of the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group and you're willing to be kind, please come join us. We would love to have you come and play. It's the only rule. You need to be kind. If you can't find your kind, maybe you need to book a private session with me and we can clear away whatever's stopping you being kind. But anyway, let's get off that topic and let's get on to having some fun with paint. So today I've come across this soap dish. Now, the Acrylic Pouring for Fun September challenge is in, on, or through something to do with the bathroom. And I thought, well, you know what? Soap dish is to do with the bathroom and it's got holes in it. I could pour through that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, some of you will know that I used to pour through lots of different things. And if you want to go back through my channel, you'll find all sorts of weird and wacky and wonderful kitchen utensils. But I haven't done a soap dish. So that's what we're doing today. Now, something I haven't done for a while is one with negative space. And partly because I never got around to mixing up some negative space paint. So guess what I just did? So my negative space paint is spring indoor outdoor house paint. Acrylic / latex, whatever you want to call it. And I mix it with Floetrol and water like all my other paints, but I also add in a little bit of PVA glue, and the PVA glue is to help bind some of that paint back together again. I had been finding that it was separating, especially where the silicone was, and one of you amazing viewers said, why don't you put some PVA in it? So I did, and it seems to have sorted out the problem. Now, please don't ask me what my ratios are, what my percentages are, because I don't know. I don't measure it. It's a lot more paint than anything else. And there's more Floetrol than there is PVA. And there's probably about the same amount of water as Floetrol. Roughly. I don't know. Round about there. Play with it. Experiment. Find out what works for you. And if you're not using the same paint as me, it probably won't be the same recipe anyway. Because did you know that all brands are different? Just a little bit. That's why I try not to give out my recipes, because if you were to buy Liquitex Basics and use my Reeves Fine Artist Acrylic recipe on it, it might not work. So that's why I just normally say I mix my paints with Floetrol and water and then leave it up to you to sort out what you find works for you. Oh, my glove broke when I was putting it on. Oh well. Still keeps my hands clean, so I don't mind. Anyway, so this is what I call, or what most of us in the acrylic pouring fraternity call a negative space. So what we've done is we've completely covered the canvas in a plain colour. Majority use white or black. That can be a bit boring for some, and they use other colours. was just to pop any air bubbles that were in there. And then we get to start to play. Now, do I just hold it? Do I find some way of holding it up? Or do I sit it down in it, pour the paint, and then lift up? That one. Alright. So then the next question is, what colours am I using? Let's show you. I'm going to be using, and you guys, if you have been following me recently, you'll know that these are colours I'm really enjoying. So that's why I'm using them. I'm going to be using copper. I'm going to be using phthalo blue. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to be using deep turquoise. Now these are all acrylic paints from the fine artist quality level of Reeves. So there's a link in the description for Amazon to find those, so you can have a look at what they look like. Or buy them there if you want to too. So they are all mixed with Floetrol and water. Make sure you use a sieve when you're using your Floetrol, or you'll get snotty lumps which aren't fun to play with. Now, the next question is, do I put the paint into a container then tip it through the sieve, or do I put it just straight into the sieve, or what should I do? Now I need to come up with an answer to that, don't I? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the other part of the soap dish and put the colours in there. And I'm also going to add a little bit of Reeves Fine Artist Acrylic White mixed with Floetrol and water, just like the rest of it. Ooh, it's a bit running thick. Now, while I'm mixing this up, what I would love to invite you to, possibility-wise, is to play. If you come to my channel to find exact recipes about how, when, what, woo, who, where, please go find another channel, because I'm not going to give you that. What I will invite you to is to have some fun. Have some fun, be you, and create some magic. And what if there's no such thing as failure? That's my question to you today. Failure. Failure is when something does not meet your expectations and projections. So what have you decided your painting should look like, or my painting should look like, that it's not going to look like? And because it doesn't look like it, you've decided it's wrong, terrible, awful. And everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Alright. So, as you'll see, I have put those colours in there. There is a little bit of silicone in the blue, dark blue. There is a little bit of silicone in the turquoise, nothing in the copper, and nothing in the white. So, let's see what they do, what magic they create. And all I'm going to do is pour that across those holes. Okay, just like that. There we go. Painting finished. Wait for it to dry. No, not quite. Not quite. Although you could. Somebody would call that like art, darling. This, yeah, not me. Not today anyway. What have you defined art as that it actually isn't? Ooh, now that's interesting. Put that over there on the soap dish. Let's zoom you in so you can see what I'm seeing. What do you reckon? It's quite cool. I'm seeing shadows of colour under the white in here. So I'm very interested to see what it does when we tilt it and then torch it. So, zoom you back out again so you can see the whole thing. And I'm actually just going to tilt, try and spread those out. Or should I go that way? If I stretch it that way, it'll create one thing. If I stretch it that way, it'll create another. And if I stretch it in all directions, it'll create another. So there we go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, for which direction shall we go? Got blue paint on some of my fingers. I'm going to try and tilt with these two fingers so we don't get... You know what? I'm going to go that way. For now, anyway. To there. And then... Sometimes when you're doing negative space, what happens is you get... It just sort of floats on the top. And sometimes, like it is now, it will hold and stretch. There we go. Take that right to that corner. And then starting to see some silicone cells showing up. Now if you're wondering how I'm holding this up, it's actually, I have push pins underneath in the wood of this canvas to hold it up off the ground so that when it drips it doesn't sit in its puddle of paint. Okay, bring it back. Now I have a feeling I'm going to stretch it widthwise as well, but first of all I'm going to use the torch on it. Now, if you're new to acrylic pouring and you're wondering why would you use a torch, well, two reasons. One, like I said at the beginning, to pop any air bubbles, which I can see two really big ones and lots of little ones of those, but also warms the paint and allows the silicone, look at all those air bubbles pop. But it allows the silicone that's in there to start to rise up through the warm paint and create cells. Now, I would love to show you, if I can get this to do what I need it to do, the difference between a silicone cell, which are these through here, and an air bubble pop. There's a big difference. Okay. Look. Alright. So, let's tilt it sideways a bit. See what this paint wants to do if I tilt that way. Oh, you know what that's looking like? Looking like a hummingbird. Just my interesting point of view. Pop that. Oh, it's gone. Then I'm going to tilt it back the other way. And that is as far as I'm going to go. Now, alright, so what I'd love you to look at here, if I can get it to focus. Look at the powderiness of this area here. So that is the level of, when you use house paint, the particles just aren't as fine as acrylic, as fine artist paints are. So that what you're seeing there is the particles of the house paint separating, whereas in the middle here you've got the Reeves acrylic paint, and it's just not separating anywhere near as much because it's so the particles are so fine. So that's the difference if you were to use poster paint versus fine artist acrylics. I have a lot of people saying, can I use this sort of paint? Can I use this sort of paint? And yeah, you can. And just be aware of what you're creating. Some of you might go, oh my gosh, I love that. That's so cool. And others going, ooh, yuck. It looks like unmixed powder that's gone weird. I don't like it. It's a choice, guys. What you like and what other people like, totally different. Quite often anyway. So what do you like and what are you choosing? And how much fun can you have playing and exploring and finding out what it is that you like, what it is that you desire. Anyway, I like this just the way it is. It really does. Still has that bird effect to me. There's the head and eye and the beak and then the wings and the tail. That's what I'm seeing. What are you seeing? And guess what? Super soon, you're going to get to see the dry result. So I'm going to go and see what else I can create with, in, on, or through the bathroom. And if you give this challenge a go, please go to the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook page and find the event, which will be either up the top or to the left hand side, depending on if you're on a phone or a computer. And click on the event and upload your photos to the event page so that we can all see what you're creating and what magic we can all create for bathrooms. Anyway, I'll be back your time in 3, 2, 1. Well, here it is. I love this one. I really like this turquoise blue colour. Straight out of the pot, guys. Reeves Deep Turquoise. It's so pretty. And I'm still seeing my beak and head and wings, tail. But when I picked it up to bring it out here to show it to you, guess what I saw? I had it this way. Oops. And what it looks like to me here is a maiden with her long flowing hair being kissed by a king with his giant thing on his head. I don't know. Very odd, that one, but that's what I saw. What do you see in this one? What about if I turn it this way? What do you see? If I turn it that way, oh, we're back to the birdie thingy. What if I turn it that way? What do you see? A rocket ship flying to the moon. But I really like this one. I'm very pleased with it, even though the white's done its little thing. I think that adds to this one. It really does make it something a little bit different. So there we are, guys. Have fun flying away. I will be in Tokyo when you see this, so I hope you're having an amazing time. I know I will be, and I adore you. Come join us on Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group. And what magic can we create together? How much fun can we have? And how much fun can you have being you? I adore you. Bye bye.